What's up, Canuck fans? Welcome to the Nucks Report, a proud presentation of DraftKings Sportsbook, as well as a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, every team, everywhere. So welcome to the Nucks Report here on Monday, January 5th, 2026. Happy holidays and a very happy new year to you all. We're here with not only our first video of 2026, but our first Nucks Report of the 2026 calendar year. Obviously, I mentioned that we were moving from Fridays to Mondays. This is going to be a permanent thing. And I guess it also kind of makes sense, too, to have the Nucks Report at the beginning of the week as opposed to the end of the week. But let's not waste any time. Our first topic is, of course, the news and Patrick Allvin announcing that the Canucks have extended Linus Karlsson. He's been given a pay raise and a very nice, lucrative contract, if I do say so myself. Nice little 2-year deal worth $2.5 million AAV. Let's go ahead and bring it up onto the screen for you guys so you guys can all see. There you go. Linus Karlsson agreed to terms. Let's go ahead and go over the article that kind of discusses this a little bit and talks about it. We'll dive into it a little bit here on the next report, but I kind of want to save some of this discussion and conversation when we have Brandon Astle joining the podcast a little bit later today. So we'll probably talk to Brandon about Linus Karlsson and how much, his time in Abbotsford, as well as this new deal for Karlsson that he has absolutely earned. So let's go ahead and check out the article. Karlsson is currently signed to a 1-year, $775,000 contract and was set to become a Group 6 unrestricted free agent. The deal does not have any confirmed signing or performance bonuses or any no-trade or no-move clauses. He will make $2.5 million in salary in the first season of the contract and $2 million in the second year. Linus has taken a number of big steps since joining our organization, said Allvin in a statement about the extension released by the Canucks. He has worked hard on his game, and we have been impressed with his development both on and off the ice. A leader last year for our Calder Cup championship team in Abbotsford, Linus used that momentum and experience to solidify a position this year in Vancouver. We look forward to helping him continue to grow moving forward. This contract marks the first time in Karlsson's career that he'll make a 7-figure salary, with his previous highest cap hit being $883,000. He'll be locked up until his age 28 season at 2.17% of next year's salary cap. His closest cap hit comparables will be New York Islanders forward Maxim Tisplikov, I'll probably mispronounce that, who will be in the second year of his 2-year contract with the same cap hit. Karlsson is in his first season as a regular at the NHL level with 9 goals and 7 assists for 16 points in 36 games. Those totals are already well past his previous career high of 6 points in 24-25. With this extension done, the Canucks will have close to $16.75 million in salary cap space this summer, with 8 UFAs and 7 restricted free agents left to sign, highlighted by Kiefer, Sherwood, Evander Kane, and Teddy Blueger. So, congratulations are in order for Linus Karlsson. I think he has absolutely earned this extension, especially with how he's been able to produce this season, not to mention what he did last season for the Abbotsford Canucks in the Calder Cup run. Although I have seen some Canuck fans questioning the decision by the Canucks to make this signing now, as well as, the term, it only being a 2-year contract. They're a little surprised that they didn't offer him a longer term deal, like, 3, 4, maybe 5-year deal. But we don't know the thinking process behind Canucks management when it comes to this particular deal. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out more info. Maybe I'll ask that question to Brandon Astle a little bit later today, if he's surprised and that Karlsson didn't get a more term, perhaps. But I digress. Moving on to our second topic is that the Vancouver Canucks have once again been bitten by the injury bug. So 2 more players have gone down with injuries. That is, of course, Marco Rossi and Connor Garland, both suffering injuries in the game against the Flyers. and both will be out at least a week. So let's go ahead and bring this up. General Manager Patrick Allvin announced that forward Marco Rossi has been placed on IR, retroactive to December 30th, and R.C. Baines has been recalled from Abbotsford. So as you guys can see there, Marco Rossi was put on IR. Connor Garland was not, even though both players will be out at least a week, according to Patrick Allvin, Adam Foote. Supposedly, it's a lower body injury for Marco Rossi. He apparently blocked a shot in the game against the Flyers and did not return for the final 8 minutes of the third period in that game. And apparently his previous injury, when he was initially traded to the Canucks, that he was dealing with was as a result of blocking a shot. So perhaps maybe he re-aggravated his previous injury. We do not know. But Connor Garland, apparently he was slew-footed in that game. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article. Following Thursday's practice, Canucks head coach Adam Foote provided an update on the players. Rossi's his lower body. He blocked a shot in the third period and did not play the final 8 minutes of Tuesday's contest against the Flyers. Garland was slew-footed at some point, and Foote was surprised the officials missed it. Unlike Rossi, Garland was able to finish the game. Rossi, 24, was the centerpiece coming back in the Quinn Hughes trade from the Minnesota Wild. The Austrian forward missed time earlier in the 25-26 season when he blocked a shot. He attempted to play through it, but that only made it worse, and he missed a month of game action. Since joining the Canucks, Rossi has struggled to produce offensively. Through 8 games in Vancouver, the 5'9" centerman has 1 goal and 1 assist for 2 points with a -5 rating, while averaging what would be a career high of 18 minutes and 42 seconds of ice time. In the faceoff circle, Rossi is also on pace to set a career high with 50.8% faceoff percentage. Garland has struggled with injuries throughout the season. He missed 3 games in October after taking a hit from New York Rangers forward Sam Carrick, 1 game in mid-November after a fight with Tampa Bay Lightning defenseman Darren Radish, a pair of games in late November and early December, and is now slated to miss at least a week with this new injury. Foote mentioned that he believes the team will need to call up an extra forward from the Abbotsford Canucks. Jonathan Lekarmaki has 6 goals and 10 points through 9 games since being sent down, but hasn't played since before the Christmas break. Obviously, Lekarmaki is dealing with an injury himself. R.C. Baines has 3 goals and 6 points in 5 games since the demotion, while Lucas Reichel has struggled with just 1 goal through 5 games. Obviously, we know R.C. Baines was the one who ended up getting called up in the end. But as I mentioned, Rossi on the IR, Garland not put on the IR. So it appears that Garland could be back before Rossi. Perhaps Rossi might be out longer than a week, and perhaps that might be why he was placed on IR. But hopefully these 2 injuries do not keep both Garland and Rossi out for too long, because the Canucks are still dealing with, the loss of Teddy Bluger still not being back, Philip Hedl, they're still a few weeks away from, and who knows about Derek Forbort at this point. But before we go any further, let's do our mid-show sponsor read, as I thank my main and primary sponsor, none other than DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting app of the NHL. The jaw-dropping moments that make hockey, well, hockey. Experience them all with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. New customers, this one's just for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. Pass-through of per wager. Tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright of the NHL 2025, all rights reserved. Big shout out and thank you to my secondary sponsor, none other than Gassy Jack Art, maker of this amazing artwork you see in front of you. You guys can check them out yourselves at GassyJackArt.com. Moving back to our Nucks Report, let's go on to our third and main topic of discussion in this video, as everyone's going nutso about this, and that is the fact that the Vancouver Canucks and their current Kiefer Sherwood dilemma, as like I would like to call it. Right now, they are dealing with a Kiefer Sherwood dilemma. And that dilemma is, do we trade him or do we extend him? That is the dilemma that the Canucks find themselves in right now. Obviously, we've known for some time now that the Canucks very likely are going to trade Sherwood, and they've been, he's on the market. And we all know that the Canucks want a first-round pick for him, as well as a player, I believe, either a prospect or a player attached to it. But now, Elliot Friedman is reporting that the Canucks have had conversations with Sherwood about an extension. So it looks as though the Canucks may have decided against trading Sherwood after all. Or is this a ploy by the Vancouver Canucks to try and lure teams in whom are willing to match and pay their asking price when it comes to Kiefer Sherwood? I absolutely love Kiefer Sherwood. You've heard me rave about him on this channel before. I did that video months ago, basically asking the question, has Kiefer Sherwood priced himself out of Vancouver? And look at where we are now. I would love nothing more than to keep Kiefer Sherwood, sign him long-term, but the reality is the Canucks are in a hybrid rebuild / retool. So the most logical thing to do is sell off your veteran UFAs, and unfortunately that includes Sherwood. I just don't see the Canucks being able to re-sign him, especially considering how much money he's going to want. I mean, he's got 17 goals on the season, and he's making $1.5 million. And the term that he likely wants stability as well. Now, could there be a little sliver of hope that a deal can be done between the Canucks and Kiefer Sherwood? Maybe. And I will admit, this quote from Sherwood himself gives me a little sliver of that hope. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let me bring it up here. After re-signing Linus Karlsson yesterday, the Vancouver Canucks may not be done there, according to Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman. Last night, the Vancouver Canucks announced that they had re-signed Linus Karlsson to a two-year deal. The big name everybody in Vancouver is kind of talking about right now is Kiefer Sherwood, an unrestricted free agent having a career year. The Canucks did make a new offer to Sherwood this week. I still think there's a sizable gap here. I don't have a timeline for when anything is going to occur in terms of a trade or anything like that, but both sides did talk this week. I still think, however, there's a gap in where Sherwood would like to be and what the Canucks are willing to do, so let's see where it takes us. Sherwood, 30, signed a 2-year, $1.5 million AAV contract with the Canucks in the summer of 2024. In his first year in Vancouver, Sherwood had a career high of 19 goals and 40 points in 78 games. He also set the NHL record for hits in a single season with 462. Through 40 games of the 25-26 season, Sherwood is on pace to set new career highs. He is currently on pace for 34 goals and 42 points, while seeing his time on ice jump 2.5 minutes from last season's average. It must be noted that the sides are not close, and Canucks general manager Patrick Allvin may simply be exercising due diligence, finding out again what it might cost to keep Sherwood, even as the team is trying to trade him. Given Sherwood's age, strong case to make $4 or $5 million or more annually on his next contract, and the Canucks' long-term commitment to right wingers Brock Besser and Connor Garland, Sherwood is a difficult fit for Vancouver beyond this season. Still, the Canucks haven't yet given up on the possibility of re-signing him, and the forward from Columbus, Ohio, hasn't yet closed himself off to that idea either. And this is a quote from Sherwood himself. "This is what I was talking about, the sliver of hope. I mean, I love it here," he said. "I want to do nothing more than bring energy and happiness to this fan base in this market. This is where, some of my dreams have come true. And we have a lot of great teammates and great relationships that I've built here, and I'm just thankful that the staff is trusting me with opportunities that I was hoping for a couple of years ago. I don't know that contract side of things. I'm sure it'll get squared away one way or another, but I just, try to stay in the present. And like I said, just focus on demanding more of myself and bringing it each and every night so that we can give ourselves a chance here at the playoffs." Playoffs, as Trevor Baggs would say. Playoffs are highly unlikely for the 16, 20, and 5 Canucks, but they're playing well enough to have taken more than just 2 loser points from their back-to-back weekend games against Boston and Seattle. And this is a quote from Tyler Myers, I guess, talking about Sherwood. I don't know about any of the stories. Veteran Vancouver defenseman Tyler Myers said of Kiefer Sherwood, "Whatever happens, it's been a lot of fun playing with him, and I hope to continue to play with him. We'll let things fall where they fall. That's the business side of things, but I love having him on the team and in the room and seeing how hard he works every night. There's a lot about his game that I admire." So, as you guys can see there, Kiefer Sherwood, he loves it here. And he would like to stay, but at the same time, the man wants to be paid what he's worth. And last season, he had a career year, and he's having another career year for the second straight season. And as I mentioned already, all at $1.5 million. But I want to know what you guys think of this Kiefer Sherwood dilemma, that I like to call it, that the Canucks have apparently put themselves in. Do you still trade him and try and get the assets you want, or do you re-sign him, extend him, and keep him, and maybe trade somebody else? We actually do have a video coming out, hopefully within the next couple of days, that talks about a, perhaps dark horse trade chip that the Vancouver Canucks might have if they were to go in that direction of re-signing Sherwood. It is about Drew O'Connor, and could he be possibly traded? We'll dive into that in a separate video, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you think this could potentially be a ploy or a tactic by Canucks management to try and maybe get teams to bite and be willing to give up what they want for Sherwood? Or do you actually think the Canucks have changed their minds once again and decided that maybe we should keep this guy? We don't want to give up this guy. We're not getting what we want in exchange for him. Let's just keep him and pay the man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to smash that subscribe button, especially if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content. Be sure to turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. If you want to join our Discord, feel free to do so. It is completely free. There is a link to it in the description down below. You can find and interact with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok. They're all there. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. And of course, as always, if you prefer to listen to this on a podcast platform, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, and as well as rate and review us on either platform. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. And be sure to download your favorite episode today, as that also helps out the podcast a whole lot as well. Once again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And as always, let's go Canucks, and I'll catch you guys next time.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.